You're listening to Mr. Save-A-Home, Becoming an Agenteur.
Good afternoon, good people. It is Navid Moosa here, aka Mr. Save-A-Home, aka Becoming an Agenteur. Man, today's a good one. Today's one is going to hopefully make you think. Today is one that is going to hopefully make you ponder a lot. It definitely has me pondering. Every time we record these podcasts, I must record like, I don't know how many podcasts before we actually one that we think is legit to air. And that's because I'm a little bit of a slow starter. So the team who I've tasked and who have earned to be tasked this podcast creation, we always sit here and we talk. And one of the guys here had hit me with a question. It was about humble and hunger. And so we were talking for about a good 30 minutes. And I'm telling you right now, my chest hurts a little bit because, and in a good way, not in a bad way. It's something to really think about, so let's just get into it. How do we come out of this whole COVID-19 situation? And by that, I mean, I always try to spew positive thoughts, positive mindset, and I'm not going to fray from that. I'm not. But depending on who you are and depending on how you think, and I'm not joking. I mean, it sounds funny, but I'm not joking around. I'm not trying to be funny about this. But when you go to the grocery store, if you see these things about people fighting over toilet paper, fighting over the gallon of milk and the bread and stuff like that, what the hell have we become? How do we come out of this? Like, if I can't go to the grocery store without wearing, a full-blown body armor because someone's going to beat me up because I took the last loaf of bread, how do we come out of the whole world of becoming not essential to essential? How can we honestly go out and be like, hey, all right, I'm going to go help this person and be good to them when you're fighting over the basic necessities? And we've always called them, actually, that's something that sounds a little bit arrogant potentially, because basic necessities apparently aren't that basic if we have to fight for them, right? So I guess my question to you is, how do we humble ourselves when this is done? How do we stay hungry without becoming greedy? That's not an easy 10, 15-minute podcast to talk about. That's a legit question. And I really want to hear your thoughts on this, because although I'm not going to change as far as helping people here at Mr. Save-A-Home, we are not going to change as far as helping people in their situations. That doesn't mean other people aren't. And with today's day and age of so much social media feeding you day in and day out, you could lose your relevance in everything that's going on. You can watch CNN, Fox News, and all these other channels, and depending on which way you lean, you're going to listen to them, and you'll listen to them as long as you want to listen to them. That's on you, but that's going to feed your mind into going to a certain way. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm not saying that at all. You listen to who you want to listen to. But I guess what I'm getting at is, if you keep listening to the certain thing, at some point in time, you need to listen to yourself, listen to your body. And depending what you're feeding yourself, you could say, hey, I'm not hungry anymore. My belly is full. I don't need to know any more knowledge. I'm knowledged out. I've maxed out my data. My unlimited data plan has been limited at this point. So how do we come out of this? Do you step on people when this is done and you can go outside, quote unquote, freely? Or do you step side by side with people and you move forward together? Again, there's no right or wrong. I just want to know how you guys are going to proceed. I would love to know personally how you're going to proceed with this. All I can say is that I plan on stepping side by side. I plan to step up my marketing game. I plan to step up to make sure I'm still relevant. It is very hard because there's so much content out there, good and bad. You want to keep yourself relevant. And we don't have all these marketing dollars available to us, especially if you're new. I mean, guys, listen, as agenteurs, like I said, we're investors and agents and entrepreneurs. Some of us don't have a lot of this money just sitting there to dump into marketing. So how do we keep ourselves relevant? And so when you come out of this time, you want to kind of reflect on it though, right? You don't want to just say, that's over, I can go back out and not worry about it. No, you want to reflect and be like, okay, here's what I was in for 4 to 6, 8, 10, 12 weeks, whatever. Here's what I adapted to in that time frame. I adapted to creating a schedule for schooling, homeschooling for my children, and still my business. I adapted to working out at home. I adapted to not meal prepping and just eating junk and knowing that wasn't good for me at all. I'm not saying when you adapt to something, it's for the better or for the worse, but you adapt to something, or you adapt to what you want to adapt to. I'm gonna stop saying that word adapt is giving me a damn headache anyways. But we need to be, I feel, my opinion, we need to be resilient. We need to step up. We need to become relevant. At the risk of sounding like a conspiracy theory individual of Big Brother and big media, they are out there. They will always be out there, and that's fine. We need to be responsible for ourselves on what data we want to give to ourselves. We need to be responsible for how we come out of all of this new information coming to us. How do we do that? How are you guys doing it? Those who just got your license earlier this year or late last year, you're coming into a time that, in my opinion, is worse than the recession of 2008. This is similar to the 9/11. Like, this is that kind of severity of it. So how are you prepping to keep yourself still with a positive mindset? How are you preparing to keep yourself relevant in front of your client? Like, what are you doing? And for those who have been in this business for 15, 20 years, like I have, what are we doing to make sure that our belly isn't full? What are we doing to make sure that, guess what? I know I have a team, and God bless my team and their families, but I don't want them to ever think that they're not relevant to me. And sometimes we could take criticism when you're working, when you shouldn't be working. Well, guess what? The bills got to get paid. My team needs to get paid. And so I'm working with the legal confines that I'm allowed to. That doesn't mean I'm throwing away their feelings or anything like that to the wayside. On the contrary, I'm probably more in touch with them now than I've ever been. But then that makes me question, why in the hell was I doing that before? And so, like I said, my team and I, when we discuss these podcasts, to get me going, they always hit me with these questions and they make me think. And this one here was not planned. This one here, we were just talking, had a discussion. I said, you know what? The hell with it. Let's just record it. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. We have a beautiful thing called technology where you can delete and re-record. And we need to embrace this technology. We need to embrace the fact that our team is there for us. And even if you're a new agent, you don't have a team, guess what? Now's the time to maybe to prepare for one. Maybe it's time for you to plan. Like they talk about your 5-year plan. Maybe this is the time you sit down and you write out, guess what? I got my license in 2019. It's now 2020 and we're in the COVID age, essentially at this point in time. And I'm gonna write out my 5-year goal. So I wanna have a team, and my team is gonna consist of marketing, of an administrative assistant, executive assistant, whatever. Now's your time to plan for that. So when we come out of here, you don't come out of here like you're out of a hazy fog. You come out of here with a mission. You come out of here with authority. You come out of here with guns blazing. You know, you come out with Nerf guns. Let's make that straight. Nerf guns, go gun blazing. But you come out with authority that here's your plan and you're going to attack it. And there's not a single person out there who's going to tell you anything different. At least that's what I plan to do. And that's what I would encourage you to do. But I do want to hear, how are you guys prepping for this? How are you guys, when we come out of this stuff, and we will come out of this, we'll be better, we'll be stronger, and hopefully we'll be more prepared than ever before. What are you going to do to make sure you're in the face of everybody, that you're still there? They don't forget about you. That, hey man, I was on quarantine for 12 weeks. I forgot about you. You look like that? Damn. You don't want that to happen, do you? So what are you going to do? How are you prepping for that right now? Right now, as I'm casting this to you right now, what are you doing prepping for this? Create that action plan. Email me your action plan. Email me your action plan of coming out of COVID-19, aka coronavirus. I'm coming out of it, Navid, and here's what I'm going to do. Email me, navid@mrsaveahome.com, navid@mrsaveahome.com. Email me. I would love to know what you guys are doing. Individuals, teams, newbies, experience. I want to know what you guys are doing because I never stop learning. Never. And I hope you guys never do. And I said it before, and I'll say it for the 4.2 billionth time. Never chase the money. Always chase the deal. Do right by your client, and everything else will fall in place. Be good to each other, practice social distancing, wash your hands.